Good day, my plant foldies. This is Richie at Grow Folds, and today we will be big box store grocery plant shopping at Kroger off of Custer Road in Frisco, Texas. As always, please, please, please hit the like button for my video. It helps with the engagement on my channel. And if you haven't already, please make sure you are following me on Instagram at Grow Folds and also hitting the subscribe button for future notifications. I do 1 hour plant shopping videos daily, and we do have a live premiere chat. So today we are going to Kroger's. This is a grocery store I go to check for many types of plants. And as you have seen in the last 2 days, I was able to find some Monstera Thai constellations for $29.99. When I first visited this location, they did not have any Monstera Thai constellations. So we're going to go check out and see if they actually got a restock of Monstera Thai constellations. But for now, I'm going to be looking at some of the outdoor plants. This is a gardenia right over here. Now with gardenias, they do require shade and they love acidic soils. So I like Kroger because they do have a lot of indoor and outdoor plants. And for the most part, their plant pricing is very cost effective. Right over here, we got a creeping Jenny. This is a nice one. Really good ground cover. Makes really good hanging baskets as well. I don't have any creeping Jenny in my collection, but I did want to show you a couple of these. But to go back to it, I love going to Kroger because you would be surprised of the types of plants that they have available and how inexpensive they are. Now, the first time I posted my Monstera Thai constellation finds, I did want to thank my plant foldie, and that for those that are new to the channel, I call my viewers and subscribers plant foldies. Marlon, who sent me a direct message with a photo of a Monstera Thai constellation he found at Kroger. So 2 days ago, or 2 or 3 days ago, I rushed to a Kroger, and after visiting 2 locations, I was able to find some Monstera Thai constellation. So super excited about that. And we're going to see if we can find some here. I would say this particular Kroger marketplace has some really good quality plants. They're always restocked. I found some really good plant finds here. I was able to find a Dieffenbachia Cool Beauty here and some really inexpensive Costa Farms trending tropical plants, as well as some of my favorite indoor azaleas or Azalea simsii. You can see that there are a bunch of ferns here. For some reason, we've been just getting a lot of ferns, but I've walked into the Kroger, and it is Good Friday when I was actually filming this. So last night, I like to go plant shopping at night because it's easier for me to film. There's less people and there's less workers to have to like dodge in terms of just making sure I'm not getting people on film. I try to be very respectful with people's space. And you can see here, we've got a bunch of kalanchoe. Kalanchoe is a flowering succulent that I didn't even realize was a succulent. And you can see it is Easter, it is spring, and we've got some bulb plants right here, like some daffodils. Really like that a lot. They've got some tulips here, and we've got some more hyacinths. Now, all of these spring bulbs, assorted bulbs, are only for $9.99. And look at this little rabbit decoration here on that bulb plant. We've got a bunch of hydrangeas. So hydrangeas seem to come out around the springtime. I would love to be able to grow hydrangeas, but I haven't had the best luck with them. And right over here, we've got an assortment of indoor azaleas, or what you call Azalea simsii. Now, I was able to get a couple of clearance azaleas right after Valentine's, and I found one that was a variegated sport, so like the leaves actually had some variegation. I really love the look of azaleas. Azaleas remind me of Japanese gardens, and that's really what I like, is that aesthetic outside is Japanese gardens. Look at the different varieties of azaleas here. Now, I would assume Azalea simsii are similar to Satsuki azaleas. They have been hybridized. Now, with these azaleas, you do need to grow them in cooler home conditions, like between 60 to 70 degrees. They don't like heat. And one thing I learned is if you let the soil dry out completely, this plant will definitely shed its leaves and decline very quickly. So you will need to stay on top of these azaleas. And since I'm an underwaterer, or somebody who doesn't water his plants often, this wouldn't be the best fit for my my plant collection because I don't really water my plants, and these really are thirsty plants. Now look at this one right here. This one looks like a Kobai 2 Satsuki azalea, that variegation on the pink leaves. Really nice looking one. I am definitely going to try my hand again at some growing indoor azaleas, but I would just need to have a better watering space, or I could plant them or replant them in more soil that has a little bit more moisture. I tend to grow plants in very chunky aeroid mixes, and that's not going to work for this particular azalea. But anyways, I am really excited, plant foldies, to see if we can find some Monstera Thai constellations. I'm actually thinking about doing a Monstera Thai constellation viewer giveaway. So for those that actually follow me on Instagram at GrowFolds, I will be doing a giveaway for a plant. I would think it would be a Monstera Thai constellation, since it's only $29.99. So this is the year where if you don't have a Monstera Thai constellation and you have a Kroger, rush to Kroger as soon as possible, especially if you live in the North Dallas area. That is where I am based at. And if you are new to this channel, my name is Richie, and I do plant shopping videos where I go to several big box stores, local plant nurseries, grocery stores, to show you all of the plant finds that I can get, and as well as pricing and plant care. So if you like that type of content, please make sure you're hitting the subscribe button. And you can see right here this beautiful azalea, Simsii or indoor azalea. I love looking at azaleas, and anytime I go to Kroger, they have ample amount of azaleas. So, you know, if I ended up not doing well with my first set of 3, at least I learned that, you know, the care tips are a little bit differently. So if you end up not doing well with the plant, either killing it or just it declining in itself, just remember that all your plants are learning experiences. Even if we do our research on plants, things like, you know, time constraints, factors in your lighting conditions, or just your overall care can impact that, but it doesn't make you a negative or bad plant parent. It just means that we have to learn from our mistakes for the next time. And then right over here, we've got a Kalia lily. These ones are for $3.99. These are super cute, and Kalia lilies are perennials. So if you want to grow perennials in the landscape, they will always come back year after year. They bloom, they grow, and then they die off in the fall, winter, and then they emerge back in the spring. And you can see right here, we've got a bunch of Phalaenopsis orchids. I love Kroger because they always have a great amount of like Phalaenopsis orchids. I'm surprised I haven't added a Phalaenopsis orchid to my collection. They're gorgeous looking flowers, and you know, Phalaenopsis orchids, when you think about how long their bloom cycle is, it could be within a month or maybe even 2 months. And there's just so many varieties of Phalaenopsis orchids. Now with Phalaenopsis orchids, you want to make sure you're growing them in a medium, like just literally orchid bark. They do not want to be planted in soil. You can water the roots and then just give it a good soak, but make sure that it is completely dry. I would say maybe every 2 to 3 weeks is when you would water in a Phalaenopsis orchid. And you can see they've got a different range of colors. Now all of these smaller ones are for $9.99. That is a low price. And look at this little egg planter and this beautiful yellow tone on these. I keep wanting to say azaleas. These are Phalaenopsis orchids. So plant foldies, if you grow orchids, please leave in the comments what your care tips are, what kind of orchids you like. I personally like Vanda orchids just because Vanda orchids are very endemic to the country, my family's country, which is the Philippines. We're originally from the Philippines, and there's one particular Vanda orchid I would ask you guys to check out on Google. It's called a waling waling. Now we're just going to go look at some of these different types of plants right here. And you can see we have a huge spathiphyllum. This is also known as a peace lily. This one isn't in bloom, but I don't mind peace lilies not in bloom. I actually like the foliage of it. And this one is for $29.99. That is a large spathiphyllum. And this big plant here can actually be grown in like very low light conditions. So if you have a dark corner in your home, you can actually grow a peace lily and it will still do just fine. It really won't decline in health. It might just be a little bit slower in its growth, but it can tolerate very low light conditions. And over here, what are these? These are a Peperomia obtusifolia. These are for $7.99 in such a gorgeous looking rabbit planter. So Easter is tomorrow. I'm very excited to be off this weekend. You know, working a very demanding job. At least I am a salaried employee that at least works a minimum of 10 hours. It's just very nice to be off this holiday weekend. I am going to be spending some time with my family, going to visit my grandmother actually in North Houston. So perhaps I'll be able to get some footage of her and maybe even talk to her about plants. So stay tuned for that. She does inspire me to grow plants. She's the one who's gotten me into plants as a kid. And you can see here, we've got a bunch of Tradescantias, and these ones you can see are a little bit leggy. You can trim these back down, propagate them, and get more of these Tradescantias. I do like just the plain white striping on this one. My favorite Triscanthia would be the Triscanthia Nanook, which is more of a pink, larger foliage Triscanthia, but these are very easy to care for plants, and it does match that white rabbit planter. Very cute. And that's the thing I like about grocery stores when it comes to seasonality or holidays. They do have plants that are very much close to what's in season, and you can see here we've got a lot of different plants. Now all of these plants, like this one, this Hydra Helix, or the correct way to say it is a Hedera Helix or English Ivy if you are a plant foldie. I know some of you guys actually take the time to count how many times I say Hydra Helix on the live premiere chat. I know that it's not the correct way to say it, but for some reason it's caught on with you guys. So if you guys like how I say Hedera Helix, just egg me on. Tell me if you like that. Leave that in the comments. I like that a lot as well. I think it's kind of funny. But with Hedera Helix, they are one of the most challenging plants, and this one is actually for $9.99. That is not a bad price at all. But the problem with Hedera Helix or English Ivy is when they're grown indoors, they're a little bit more finicky. They are definitely a spider mite magnet, so that pest for some reason likes to attack English Ivies. Now when grown outdoors, they do just fine, but when you're growing them indoors, they're very finicky. Now with English Ivies grown indoors, you want to make sure that the soil dries out completely before watering them, because if you overwater them, they will also get unhappy, which means their health will be a little bit more susceptible to spider mites. So just be mindful of that. Unfortunately, Hydra Helix has been a difficult plant to grow for most people, including me. Now over here is a Hoya Eskimo. So I saw this 2 nights ago and it's still here for $13.99. I know some of you guys have egged me on to buy it. I might buy it. You can see some of these aerial roots right over here. I do like Hoyas. I think Hoyas are super easy to grow. I wasn't really a fan of them a couple years back, but I might buy this plant depending on if I find some Monstera Thai constellations. I will tell you, if I do discover some Monstera Thai constellations, I will buy a couple, because I know that it's only $29.99 and it is not a bad price at all. Ficus lyrata right over here, or fiddle fig leaf, mine is doing very well. I got mine for 99 cents at another local local grocery store called Sprouts. It was on liquidation clearance and it's doing very well. This one is for $13.99. So if you have a Kroger grocery store, especially a Kroger marketplace, which is a larger version of Kroger's, I would recommend buying these plants. You will always see some Hydra Helix and many different types of regular common house plants, and these are all sourced out by Mason Farms, which is a local nursery out in New Mexico, Texas. They've got some very healthy looking plants. I am so happy that I have been more diversified in terms of where I do my plant shopping, because I never really thought about going to a grocery store and doing plant shopping, but yes. And then I also, this is a really funny thing, you can see that this is overwatered. Like literally you would think that they were just bottom watering it. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna take this water and just move it to the side and let that Epipremnum aureum enjoy just sit there, because if these plants stay in just, water like that, the roots will rot, and we don't want that. We don't want that for these plants. It took a while for these plants to grow, and we want them to find a good home. This Peperomia obtusifolia marble for $9.99 is another plant that I, showed you guys about 2 nights ago in a video. What gorgeous variegation. It's very highly variegated. I might end up buying this. There is a little bit of cosmetic damage, so I don't know if I could possibly get a discount for it. We will see, but I do love the Peperomia obtusifolia marble, especially this one. These are easy to care for plants. They do like bright indirect light. Let their soil dry out completely before watering them. And then right over here is a China doll plant. I do love this a lot. Now this is from Mason Farms. Look at how delicate the leaves are, but it has such a natural shine about it. What I learned about China doll plants are they do not like to be underwatered as well. So, as far as this plant being in my collection, I may have some struggles because I almost ended up really killing it because I didn't water it for a while. It is a very thirsty plant, so I have to monitor when I water it. And what else do we have? We've got an Areca palm. Let's take out that bromeliad Costa Farms name tag. That is not what it is. This one is for $19.99. Now, the only thing I know about palms are the majority of palms really do like a lot of light, a lot of bright indirect light. So for palms growing in my collection, I don't really have a lot. I actually don't have any palms just because of the lighting conditions it needs. I don't really have the best lighting conditions I can get for that plant. And over here, we've got an Epipremnum aureum marble queen pothos. This one's for $19.99. So I would say their 6-inch pothos plants from Mason Farms are a little bit more pricey. I think you can find a more marble queen pothos for a little bit less, like maybe $16.99. I've seen them as low as $12.99. So this is a plant that I would hold off from purchasing. It doesn't mean that it's not a gorgeous plant. It's just that whenever you do plant shopping, you have to really compare and contrast pricing. I would say $19.99 for a 6-inch planter is a little bit more pricey, at least for a pothos plant. I would recommend a pothos plant because they're very easy to grow. So I'm just gonna pan over here and show you some more plants that they have. They've got some more peace lilies. We've got a peperomia here. And then this is a really cool looking bamboo tornado tower. I don't have any bamboo here. They're supposedly good for bringing good luck and fortune. I'm not as big on like luck and fortune. I think you create your own destiny and your own luck. But that's just my opinion. And then right over here, we've got a Ficus elastica burgundy, or what you would call a rubber tree plant. These ones are for $13.99. Love the dark foliage. I love dark foliage plants, dark plants, purple plants, black plants, brown plants that are not dead. Are absolutely stunning. I think there is an element of elegance when it comes to dark foliage plants, especially if you grow them in a planter that is like a matte finish white. So I love this Kroger. They always have some great plants. I'm always tempted to buy a bunch of them, but you know, I have some restraint a little bit, but I have literally gone broke, you know, going plant shopping and making videos for you guys daily. I don't mind it, but you know, like for instance, I always want to pick up this Pilia Cadierii, I think that's how you pronounce it, or the aluminum plant. Look at how stunning this metallic look is here. And I know I'm showing you guys plants that you've seen in the past, but I hope you don't mind sticking around because it gets very good. Who knows, you might actually see some amazing Thai constellations, but obviously I want to make sure that I'm showing you all of the other plants that I love. I love me some aluminum plants. This one's for $9.99. I definitely want to purchase some more of these. These are very easy. I have a variegated version that I got from an Etsy shop called Green Escapes. It is a little bit slower growing for me, the variegated version, but look at how gorgeous these are. Like, I would want to take all three of these and pot them up and make like one large full plant of aluminum plants. And over here, we've got some bromeliads from Costa Farms. Now, these are for $6.99. I do love bromeliads, the look of bromeliads, specifically the ones that have pink striping like this. I don't know a lot about bromeliads in terms of their care tips. I do know that with bromeliads, once they bloom, it's kind of like the bloom of death. They start to decline in health and eventually die, but they also shoot out a bunch of new baby pups for bromeliads that you can propagate. But this one is a really nice looking one. Very subtle pink, but needless to say, it's a gorgeous looking plant. I don't really know a lot about bromeliads, so plant foldies or anybody that has grown bromeliads, please leave in the comments what the care tips are, what kind of bromeliads you have. And that's the thing, I like to do 1-hour plant shopping videos. So if you're new to this channel or even a regular, the reason why I do longer content is because I like to have enough space and time for us to interact on the live premiere chats. If this is your first time watching this video and you're able to actually watch this live, please do not be shy to say hello to us on the live premiere chats. I try to be on there as much as possible. Ask me any question and I will try to find you an answer. And there are so many regulars there. I do want to thank all of the regulars for always being on the live premiere chats. And over here, we've got a beautiful bird's nest fern. Actually, this one would be one I would pick up. And if I'm going to buy a bird's nest fern, I would most likely buy it at Kroger because look at this price. $14.99 is not a bad price at all for this one. Nice looking bird's nest fern. I want to get one that's also the bird's nest fern tornado / hurricane. I like that cyclone look about it, but this one has some beautiful ridges on its leaves, and you can see there are a bunch of new growth. Now, whenever you are plant shopping, you always want to look for signs of pests, so like seeing any webbing, any yellowing on the leaves, checking the soil, but also if you're able to find like new growth or new buds, that means that the plant is actually healthy and fairly established, and that would be a good candidate to purchase at home. I saw a comment about if don't buy plants from big box stores because you're going to get thrifts. There is always a risk with bringing plants from home, from big box stores, a higher risk of them having pests. But that's the thing. Whenever I buy plants like this Hydra Helix, I end up taking a DIY preventative spray that I make, which is a combination of neem oil, rubbing alcohol, hydrogen peroxide, and like a drop of like dish soap, and shaken up in water, and I spray them down. It gives it a natural leaf shine, and it also kills potential pests on the leaves. I sprayed also on top of the soil, and then I also pretty much just kind of quarantine the plant and keep it away from all of my other plants for about 2 weeks, just to make sure that if there are any pests, that they're away from the main plant collection. So even when you do that, there always are going to be some potential to pests. That's why plant care is literally plant care. That's why we have what they call plant chores. You just have to be very diligent on them. And over here, we've got some Dracaenas. I don't know what this particular Dracaena is. I do love Dracaenas. This one is for $14.99. Again, sourced out by Costa Farms. So Kroger has several plant sources. So they get some from Live Trends. They've got some from Costa Farms. And their main source of plants comes from Mason Farms. A fan of all three nurseries and plant suppliers. And you can see that a grocery store actually carries trending tropicals. And if you're going to buy a trending tropical plant, I would say buy it at Kroger's because they are only for $16.99. And you can see this Raven ZZ is beautiful. Love me some Raven ZZs. Love some ZZ plants. I recently got a Chameleon ZZ trending tropicals at Walmart. So I was very excited about that. And you can see that the new growth comes out green, and then it darkens into this absolutely elegant, stunning, gorgeous looking dark color, just like a raven. And it is in a self-watering planter, which makes it easier because then there's a water reservoir that just pulls water up into the soil, so you don't have to really worry about when to water the plant. The plant waters itself. And I've been looking at this particular aglaonema because this aglaonema is actually a different one. I haven't ever seen this type of aglaonema. And for those that are new to this channel, I love aglaonemas. Aglaonemas are my favorite type of plant to grow indoors, just because they come in a variety of shapes, sizes, colors. I love the white stem aglaonemas, and this one actually has some like striping and some mint color about it. It is a gorgeous plant. Aglaonemas can tolerate lower light conditions. They prefer to be more on the underwatered side. So if you don't water a aglaonema, it is more forgiving. It actually declines in health when you actually overwater it. They don't really like to be overwatered. So that's why aglaonemas are, one, an underrated plant, and two, an easy to care for plant. Here is an absolutely gorgeous looking Alocasia Silver Dragon. What a gorgeous looking Alocasia. I'm so glad that they're pushing more of these out again. I know earlier in January they had a bunch of them, and now they're in self-watering planters. So especially with Alocasia, that makes it easier to take care of Alocasia because they're in self-watering planters. I love that about Alocasias, and they are a finicky plant. What you want to do with Alocasias is give them quite a bit of humidity, so even running a humidifier near it, will help a lot. And over here we've got a beautiful lemon button fern. This one is for $9.99 by Mason Farms. I do like the texture of it. Actually, not $9.99. This one's $13.99. This one's the larger version, but love Mason Farm plants. It's just gorgeous. I don't like the plastic planters that they have. I would definitely either put them in another type of planter. I've been getting a lot of my planters. It's that cream threshold planter I got from Target. Very good deal. And right now Target is actually doing a sale this week, so I've stocked up on a lot of planters from them. And you can see right over here we've got a Croton Petra and a Peperomia Rousseau. Peperomia Rousseau is gorgeous. This one's in bloom. That one's for $9.99, and you can see underneath it has that red foliage. Underside, I really like that a lot. And you know, with peperomias, I have added a couple to my collection. I've got a peperomia red Luna, but I'm also wanting to get a peperomia Raisinette, which is also found at Kroger. But this one right here is a beautiful Croton Petra for $9.99. I am growing my Croton Magnificent out in my my front porch in full sun, and it's doing very well for me. I think crotons love being outdoors. They actually do way better outdoors versus indoors. And you can see right here, this is being called an Epipremnum aureum pearls and jade, but that is not a pearls and jade. It's an actual enjoy. Really like the look of this plant right here. It is gorgeous, and it's one of those easy to care for pothos. It is one of the more slower growing pothos, so when you buy something like this alongside with maybe Epipremnum aureum like global green pothos, just know that they're going to be a little bit more slow growing versus like the golden pothos. And over here we've got some more plants. This one is a Dracaena Marley, and it is literally sitting in water. So we're going to rescue this from dying. Maybe somebody will buy it. I'm going to go ahead and dump that water, and hopefully somebody can buy it. Somebody might have just forgot that these don't have drainage holes, and we want to make sure that we, you know, save the plants. Now this plant right here is also another Croton Petra sitting in water. Now crotons hate being overwatered, and you can see that that has a lot of water. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to take this plant out, and I'm going to dump the water in this little basin right there. That'll help save this, hopefully, because all of these plants do not need to be overwatered, especially sitting in water. So that's another thing that kills plants. And you can see right here, what a nice looking Hydra Helix. And we've got a beautiful Phytonia red. I like this particular Phytonia because I don't really see a lot of red Phytonias. And this one actually has black outlining on its leaves. I like that a lot. I like leaves that actually have some specific outlining, which is whether it's like black or white. That's a really good interest, and that's what for $9.99. Now Phytonia plants do better growing in terrariums. They like better humidity, higher humidity. But let's just look at all of the plants that this Kroger offers. I haven't seen any Thai constellations yet, so I'm getting a little bit worried that I may not find it. But just keep sticking around to this video. We might find some. For the amount of square footage, this Kroger has a lot of plants, and I'm gonna go in the back corner to see if they have any plants. And yup, amazing plant find. I found the Monstera Thai constellations, and these ones are all out. So it's just interesting that they have the Thai constellations on the back end caps versus the front. I think they would actually sell a bunch of these Monstera Thai constellations if they were actually featured to be seen at the front. But you know, that's just my opinion. These are all for $29.99, and plant foldies, you cannot just imagine how excited I am to see more of these Monstera Thai constellations. This particular Kroger is not that far from me. I would literally say it is 5 minutes away from where I'm based at. And so this is the reason why I go to this Kroger and look at that Monstera Thai constellation, just the white stem variegation on it. So I'm going to be taking time to show you the different types of Monstera Thai constellations, so bear with me. Couple of things I do want to mention for Thai constellation care. You definitely want to make sure you give it a lot of bright indirect light. It definitely needs some type of support system because it is a plant that needs to grow up a pole, a plank, a moss pole, a stick, something to hold on to it. And these are offered by Tropic Treasures Collection. You can see right here. So for some reason, I think the Tropic Treasures Collection like cycles out different types of rare plants. A little while back, they started out by showing you guys Aglaonema red kings, which are extremely rare in the United States. And then they started offering a bunch of philodendron marble princesses, which are basically more variegated philodendron pink princesses. And now they have Monstera Thai Constellation. So really excited. I know that 2 nights ago, this place didn't have the Monstera Thai Constellations, but now you can see they've got a bunch of Monstera Thai Constellations. I do want to show you some other plants in between Monstera Thai Constellations, but I will be talking a lot about Monstera Thai Constellations here. You can see that beautiful variegation. So with Monstera Thai Constellations, they are a tissue cultured plant. So this is a plant that did not exist in Mother Nature, or at least that's what it is. I actually got my first Monstera Thai Constellation about 4 or 5 years ago. I bought it as an import, and it was like a two-leaf one node cutting that I paid about $300 for. It was actually much smaller than the Monstera Thai Constellations you can see here, and that is the reason why when it comes to plants, if you are patient enough and wait long enough, they will always reduce their prices. Now these are only for $29.99, so me spending like $300 on a 2-leaf one node cutting, it wasn't even fully rooted. It just goes to show that plant pricing will always go down. I think that it's amazing to see that Monstera Thai Constellations, I would consider them now a common house plant, just because once you've released this many, it's easier to propagate, there's more available, and even if it is considered, quote, a common houseplant at this point, the gorgeous beauty of the variegation is awesome. And what I like about Monstera Thai Constellations is it has a stable variegation, meaning that it will not revert back to green. I will say that there are some more Monstera Thai Constellations that are a little bit more variegated. Monstera Thai Constellations variegation is influenced more so on its original genetics versus light. Although giving it light will, I would think it would encourage more variegation, but it's not the factor. I would also show you this random Phalaenopsis orchid. This one actually has a beautiful face on it. Love that orange, but I am so excited to find some Monstera Thai Constellations. So plant foldies, leave it in the comments if you've actually ran to one of your grocery stores or even Kroger if you have it in search of a Thai Constellation. If you have Instagram, please make sure to tag me if you upload a photo at Growfolds and use the hashtag Growfolds and hashtag plant foldies so we can connect on Instagram. And this was the same Phalaenopsis orchid that I saw the other day. I should probably get this one since it's a variegated one. This one's only for $9.99, and you can see that it's got a beautiful purple bloom on it, and you can see these are also the same bloom, but they're not variegated. I did see a couple of these pop up, so who knows? I will be visiting multiple Krogers for the next couple of days just so I could see what other Thai Constellations are, especially now that there's a bunch of like Monstera Thai Constellations in the market, or at least at Kroger. We can be a little bit more selected. I will be honest with you, I am definitely going to buy a Monstera Thai Constellation, maybe multiple ones, because I'm thinking about growing maybe 1 or 2 or 3 in a bigger planter and then actually staking them up so it could be a more full plant. Maybe someday it'll be a specimen plant, but you could see all Monstera Thai Constellations have different types of variegation. It's very random in how they do it, but like look at this one, has a little bit more minty ones. These are for $29.99. So I'm going to ask you guys in the live premiere chat or even in the comments if you watch this at a later time, which Monstera Thai Constellation would you buy, and would you leave that a timestamp in the comments? I'm really curious to see what your aesthetics are or what your selection is. Now, if you're looking for a Monstera Thai Constellation, like this one actually has started to fenestrate, but doesn't really have the biggest or the best type of variegation. But this one also has some really nice variegation. All of these are actually very good quality plants, except this has a little bit of leaf damage. That's to be seen, especially if it's highly variegated, and you have to think these have traveled somewhere. I'm not sure where the actual nursery it came from. I know that it's from Tropic Collection, so I can probably look at the tag a little bit closely, but you can see that the higher the variegation is on a Monstera Thai Constellation, the more potential that they will crisp up. I will say if you are able to buy a solution on Amazon called Protect, it has a silica silica solution, it will actually make your variegated plants a little bit less susceptible to crisping up and browning. It has worked for me. I also use it on my Japanese maples. It prevents them from burning. So if you can find a silica solution, it does very well for variegated plants like Monstera Thai constellations. One thing I will tell you about Thai constellations, especially in this form where they're semi-juvenile, is until the roots really establish, they are very susceptible to root rot. And I'm touching the soil and they're very wet, so I'm afraid that these are going to be sitting in water, and that's not good for Thai constellations. For me, I'm a little bit sensitive, and that's the reason why I am trying to get this word out for all of you local plant foldies that live out in McKinney, out in Frisco, or are willing to travel up to this particular Kroger. If you want a Thai constellation for a really inexpensive price, buy it, because we don't want these Thai constellations to end up dying. I will say you could probably wait a little bit later, and sometimes you can get these as low as $7. I've seen Kroger's mark and reduce their plants to $7. So there were a couple of philodendron marble princess that were reduced to $7, but I like to get them when they're the most healthy. And you can see right over here, look at that nice growth point. It's about to unfurl, and it looks to be more of a high variegated Monstera Thai constellation. Super interesting. And that is the power of social media, right? If you are on Facebook, I don't have a Facebook account for Grow Folds just yet. I might consider doing that. I only have one for Instagram, but people will always post different types of photos. I will say that Marlon, my plant foldie out here, he sent me a photo of a Walmart that was offering bigger Monstera Thai constellations in Colorado for $74.99. So I will say that this is the year 2024 to be buying a Thai constellation. It looks like everybody will get them. It looks like everybody will get Thai constellations, just like when Monstera deliciosa, or just a regular green form of a Monstera, was like the it plant like 3 to 4 years ago. I would say Monstera Thai constellations would be the it plant this year for a common Monstera because they're readily available. Now these plants, for instance, for $29.99 were being offered at a local plant nursery called Callaway's for like $59.99, but I believe. So it's nice to see that a grocery store will offer them. I am just going to keep looking at all these Thai constellations. I'm going to move this aside and see if there's any other cool ones right hiding here. And look at that. There is one hidden, a hidden gem. Look at how highly variegated this leaf is. Gorgeous, gorgeous plant. This one needs to be seen, so I'm going to take it out and show you guys. Look at that variegation. So for those that are not local plant foldies that live out in the Dallas-Fort Worth area, what do you think about these Thai constellations? Are you excited, just as excited as me? Would you buy several of them and share them with your friends? Because I am thinking about buying a couple and making some plant giveaways for my plant foldies. Now, the only thing is, if I am going to do a plant giveaway, and you would have to have an Instagram account to participate, you would have to be able to live in the United States, because I can't ship internationally. So I have a lot of plant foldies that live out in Canada. Unfortunately, I can't ship out in Canada. But for those that live in the United States, stay tuned for a plant giveaway. I am going to be giving out a Monstera Thai constellation. So if you don't have an Instagram account, create one, add me on Instagram so you can participate in it. I will ship out to you if you live in the United States. I've made up my mind that since there are so many Thai constellations available, I would love to show some gratitude for all of you guys that have consistently visited my plant channel and really have engaged with me nightly on the live premiere chats. I know there are a couple of nights where I'm not able to chat with you guys. I do balance a very demanding job, and I'm also out and about shopping and plant videoing nightly. And you can see here, this one is one plant I am probably going to get. This is a half moon variegated Monstera Thai constellation. It looks to be very healthy, and it looks like the last two leaves have been half moon, so that'd be interesting if it remains and has that pattern as well. Would you buy this particular Monstera Thai constellation, the half moons? Please leave that in the comments or in the live premiere chats. So that's probably the best looking Monstera Thai constellation I've seen. Not to say that these Thai constellations are not good looking at all. All of these are actually really good quality Monstera Thai constellations. There's a lot of variegation on them, and you can see there's just so many of them. I can't believe that they have had so many Thai constellations. I will say that these Thai constellations, the probability of them being tissue cultured it's probably 99%, just because how do you like propagate all of these and have these quality? So I like that there are more Thai constellations available. If you are in the McKinney, Frisco area, visit the Custer Road Kroger Marketplace. It's literally across the street from the H-E-B in McKinney, Texas. So you can see all of these. These must have been unloaded and unpacked within a day or two, and most people may not have actually discovered them. Like, this is another beautiful Monstera Thai constellation. This is another one I would possibly buy. So this is another selection I would take. What do you guys think about this Monstera Thai constellation plant foldies? Would you buy this one? This one looks to be stable. It looks like half of it has half moon variegation. I like that a lot, and so that's just going to excite me to grow more Monstera Thai constellations. And again, $29.99 for this plant is not bad at all. And actually, Monstera Thai constellations grow fairly well. They are not as slow of a grower as, say, the Monstera albo. I like it a lot. I love that speckling variegation as well. Now, one Monstera Thai constellation I want to get a hold of is a Monstera creme brulee, because it is highly speckled variegated. So I like that a lot. And you can see this one right here isn't as variegated, but you know what? There is literally variegation on every part of the leaf. So that's the thing about Monstera Thai constellations I love, is that it does have stable variegation. It will not revert back to green. So I love that. This one is also a nice selection here. There's so many selections here. Like, I would literally want to buy all of them. So plant foldies, if you want to support me with my plant addiction, my plant funds, I mean, feel free to, obviously hit the like button, comment. If you'd like to drop a super sticker, which is basically like a tip you can do during the live premiere chats, or even if you're watching this, I would really appreciate that. That does help with my funding if you want to support me that way. But obviously, you don't have to put that out. Just your viewership, leaving comments, and even hitting the like button is really the biggest support you can give me. But I have seen some plant foldies leave me a super sticker or a super fan tip for some money, and that is really appreciated. Now, I wanted to show you this in detail. Like, look at this one. Of all of the Monstera Thai constellations I've seen so far, I've shown you this one has variegation on the stems, which is really interesting. I remember seeing one like this at Callaway's nursery, but this one has some really good variegation. This would be another unique Monstera Thai constellation I would potentially buy because of the stems. Honestly, I want to buy all of them and just keep them and hoard them. If you were in my position right now, plant foldies, or anybody watching this video, would you also want to buy up all these Monsteras and just leave it and keep it to yourself and have yourself all of these Monsteras? Gosh, this is just bringing me so much joy. So I'm just going to keep showing you guys all of these Monsteras, and we can just enjoy the view right here. Plant foldies, I urge you guys to leave comments with a timestamp and let me know which Monstera you would buy, because I will be just picking up different types of Monsteras and showing you them. I may not give you as much commentary unless it's a specific one that I want to either purchase. I will be doing a top 5 selection, so I'm going to cull through here and see what kind of plants that they have, but I'm going to go ahead and just stop some of the commentary and show you guys these. I urge you guys in the live premiere chats, or if you are watching this and want to leave comments, it's always interesting to see what kind of insights people give me, how they select plants. So check this out. just me watching this and commentating on all of these Monstera Thai constellations, I am a loss for words. They are breathtaking, and the soundtrack I'm using specifically for this video right now, this section, is by Bailant, and it's called Tired. It's one of my favorite tracks to add to my video, so you'll always hear that track. But look at this monstera right here, gorgeous large leaves. These would look great once I put my leaf shine on it. It's bringing me so much joy, and I feel like with plants, especially plants that you would love, they bring you a lot of joy. I know for those that may suffer from like mental health or just wanting to improve their mental health, just looking at plants, I believe, really has a lot of healing power. There's something about looking at the green and just being around nature. Please leave in the comments if you agree that, you know, plants bring people joy, make people happy, help with mental health. I know that even me creating these videos or even doing shopping for you guys and just talking about plants really helps with my mental health stresses. And I am just so happy. I know that when I'm filming this was around like 10:30 at night. It was just amazing to be able to freely pick up these plants, show you these Monstera Thai constellations, and not really be around a lot of people. I felt like this was like a specific little plant nursery out stuck in a grocery store. And it's funny because I saw a couple of people just shopping and doing their groceries, but they had no idea that there were so many hard to find plants. Like this one right here is another candidate I would say I would purchase because of the variegation, and particularly for this specific leaf. So this leaf right over here, I actually saw this from afar. Look at that marbling on that leaf. It's already got a little bit of fenestration, but it looks to be like this would have more variegation. And that's just stunning. I love the fact that Monstera Thai constellations have some randomness, but also some consistency. The consistency would be that variegation. So let me know in the comments where you're from, or even in the live premiere chats. And if you have a Kroger, has your Kroger giving you these awesome plants? Now this one right here is another Monstera Thai constellation that has very little variegation, but hey, if you want a Monstera that just has some speckling and mostly green, that's okay too. It doesn't mean that it has to be highly variegated. I really think that some people think the value of a plant is based on its variegation, and yes, I am one of them that would actually be more drawn to variegation, but it doesn't mean that a green plant isn't a beautiful plant as well. Although I will say this one is another good variegated plant, another one I would take. There's just so many to choose from. So guys, let me know in the comments, plant foldies, what you want. And if you are all about a plant giveaway, would you participate in it? Would you go full force to participate in that contest? Please leave in the comments, because the more comments that I get urging me to do a live giveaway, I will most likely do it. I will be purchasing some Monstera Thai constellations, but hey, if you stuck this far, please leave a comment. Let me know if you would be open to a giveaway and would want one of these Monstera Thai constellations, because I will be buying some, and I will be buying even more so in the next couple of days. If you want to support me, you know, being a patron or whatnot, feel free to leave a super sticker, or, you know, at least leave a like for this video. Smash that like button, because then that just gets more viewership and it helps my channel grow, and we'll have more interactions. But I'm gonna stop talking and just keep showing you guys these plants, and then I will tell you my selections are the top 5 I would pick from. And this is another Monstera Thai constellation I would definitely buy. The reason why I would pick it is, number 1, the variegation has some half moons. Number 2, you see that there is a new growth point right here, so it looks to be very happy and healthy. So this one is a strong contender to take the crown. This is Miss Monstera Thai Constellation 2024 edition. So we're going to see what top 5 I select. Here's another thing, a little tidbit about it. Me being Filipino, I love beauty pageants. Beauty pageants, it's a random tidbit, are a huge deal in the Philippines. We love Miss Universe. And if you know the history of Miss Universe, in the last decade, Miss Philippines has made it into the top semifinals. We've gotten 2 Miss Universe crowns, one in 2015 and one in 2018 by Pia Wurtzbach and Catriona Gray. Previously, we actually had 2 other Miss Universe winners from the Philippines, Margie Moran and Gloria Diaz. So I don't know. I always think of it when I'm actually selecting plants and, culling them and picking plants. I always think of like picking the top 5 and then actually finding an eventual winner. So later on in this video, when I choose which plants I will find, I will ask you which ones you would pick and narrow it down to the top 3. I think I'm going to buy 3 plants here because I don't want to go too broke, but we will see. I might end up just buying all of them. I don't know. I have been running up a lot of plant funds. So again, if you are a local plant foldie, please head over to the Custer Road, Frisco Kroger, because you are seeing all of these gorgeous monsteras. Now, I will say, when you repot these monsteras, put them in very chunky aeroid mix. My best bet is to repot them with a lot of perlite, pumice, charcoal, aeroids mix, because they are highly susceptible to root rot and also getting ready to put them on a moss pole. So, plant folders, what do you think of the monsteras I've given you guys so far to see? Which ones would you buy? I really want to see that all over the comments for this video. I really want to see, timestamps if possible, which ones, and that way I can kind of get a grasp of how you select your plants. I love learning from you guys as much as you guys say you learn from me. This community on Grow Folds is all about learning from each other. So I'm going to move this little floral sleeves right here, and you can see that there is a better view of all of these other monsteras on the other table. I'm so happy. You cannot imagine how happy I am to see these fully out and available for people. My thoughts are for these rare aeroids, or, these plants that were a little bit harder to get, plants that cost hundreds to thousands of dollars. It's so nice to be able to see them available just for the common person, the person that has, a plant budget. Like, not all of us can afford to spend thousands of dollars. Like, I wouldn't want to spend that much money. I've already seen myself spend a little bit too much money on plants, in the hundreds of dollars. I think that plants should be readily available for anybody. There shouldn't be this social status where you feel like, in order for you to get the best cool looking plants, that you have to pay so much money. It's all about bringing joy to each other. And so if you're going to buy plants, Monstera plants, that's the reason why I think that I am going to be doing a couple of giveaways for Monstera Thai constellations on my Instagram. So Plant Foldies, if you don't have an Instagram, please make sure you have created one. That is the fastest way to actually get in touch with me and interact. And that is the only way you would be able to participate in the giveaways. I do urge you guys to participate, because I will be giving you guys all the details with that, and having that available on my Instagram. But yes, with the amount of Monstera Thai constellations, I don't mind being generous and giving out a couple of them. So we're going to see in the next couple of weeks what that looks like. Stay tuned for more details. And I will be going to PlantCon. So I'm really excited to be able to go to PlantCon in Houston, which is about 15 days from now. I am actually making some Grow Folds t-shirts made with a little QR code to scan in case you want to go to my channel. So I will be posting that as well on my Instagram. But anyways, here is candidate number 1, Monstera, right here. Here is another candidate number 2, Monstera. So I'm going to pick my top 5. Let me know so far what you think about my my selections. That's candidate number 1, candidate number 2, candidate number 3 right here. And can you see the running theme, or actually add in the comments or live premiere chat why I would have chosen these 3 candidates so far? Let's see if we can pick out any more. I'm thinking about finding just the top 5, kind of like how they do at Miss Universe, the top 5. We'll see. Is this one that I would pick? That one has a beautiful looking half moon. And then this one right here, I think is going to be candidate number 4. So there's only one candidate left to add to my top 5 Monstera Thai constellation. So let me know, guys, what you think. Who would you pick if we're going to actually have a top 5 or a top 4? These are all nice looking ones, and I did find the last one to make it into the top 5, a Miss Monstera Thai Constellation 2024. Let me know. This is my top 5 right here, and you can see there's definitely reasons why, like that one right there has that unique, it's probably the most unique stem. It has all variegated stems. This one has an amazing looking marble semi-fenestrated leaf right here, and then the other 3 have some really stable looking variegated half moon leaves right there. So we're gonna see who is gonna make it into the top 3. I wish I could buy all of them, but I don't intend to spend $150 today on these plants. Although I would say they're worth it, because $150 a couple years back would only get us like a 2-leaf 1-node cutting, and now you can get fully established plants. But look at this one right here. Candidate number 2 is looking really strong. Let me know what you think. Candidate number 3 right here is looking really strong as well. Look at that high variegation, and look at how beautiful that is. It's got some height, and it's also got some size on the leaves. Wait till I spray these down with my DIY neem oil leaf shine. You can see this one actually has a really strong stability on it, and you can see that there is a new growth point with a highly variegated leaf coming out. So that's candidate number 3. I like that a lot. And then what else do we have here? Plant Foldies, watching this video, if you stuck this far, let me know what you think. And then this one right here probably has the most unique stem. This is the reason why it made it into the top 5. It's got another leaf unfurling, and I do like that the variegation is strong as well here. So let me know what you guys think about which Monstera Thai constellation you would choose. I am really torn between. It kind of reminds me of like judging a beauty pageant, how hard it would be for the judges, because all of these plants have some unique abilities. It really just comes down to your preference at the most. When you think about plants as well, and when you judge plants, it's really your own subjective aesthetic. You can kind of tell what my aesthetic would be, but like all of these right here, they were so many Monsteras. I didn't count how many. I would estimate about 40 Monsteras were available, and I've narrowed it down to the top 5. So we're just going to take a moment to view these and listen to some of the soundtrack. Let me know what your insights are in between, and comments. I am really all about the comments. That's why I repeat myself on multiple times in the video, just because it's so fun to interact with y'all. But look at this. Very, very high variegation. I want you guys to be a judge and let me know which ones you would take. I am going to take 3 of them today and potentially buy some more to do as a plant giveaway. So that is my way of showing some, my love and support for those that have stayed consistently with me. And it looks like I made my eliminations for one. I took the one Monstera that had just the white stems. I just felt like it didn't have as strong variegation and interest for me, even though it was probably the most unique thing. So these half moon ones have made it into the top 3. And I just really have to decide between this half moon one right over here, which is a really strong contender, or should I get the one with the really nice marbling and the fenestrated leaf. So we're gonna see which one makes the cut, and you'll find out. So just stay tuned, and you'll find out in this video when I get to the checkout counter which one made it into the top 3 and which one is going to make it home to me. I can't really decide which one's the actual winner, so I'm just going to do a top 3 here, and yes. And you guys guessed it, this is my top 3 that I made it, and all of the top 3 were the ones that had the half moon variegations. The reason why I chose these is I think I'm going to go ahead and plant all 3 in a bigger pot with a moss pole to see if I can get a really good specimen. So these made it home. Congratulations to these candidates for making it. They made it to my home where they will be pampered and taken care of, hopefully. And right now I am spraying them down just like I spray all of my plants down from any plant shopping that I do. I learned this recipe from Mari at Cultivar, which is a rare plant shop in Houston, Texas. If you haven't had a chance to check out that video, I do have a plant nursery tour where she features a lot of rare plants. Highly recommend it. But she told me how to make a DIY pest preventative spray. So basically you just get a water bottle, you get 2 tablespoons of cold pressed neem oil, 2 tablespoons of rubbing alcohol, 1 tablespoon of hydrogen peroxide, a drop of dishwater soap, Dawn dishwasher soap. Fill up the spray bottle, shake, 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 and then you can spray your plants down here. I have it does not burn or mess with the leaves. It actually makes them super shiny and clean. And what I do is I spray the tops of the leaves, the bottoms of the leaves, the crevices of the nodes, and also the top of the soil. And you can see right here, these Monsteras are just going to sit in these planters that I bought from Target. These are by Threshold. These are in 6.5-inch diameter planters. And as always, if you like this video, please make sure you're hitting the like button. And if you want to participate in my plant giveaway, make sure you have an Instagram and you're following me at GrowFolds. And this is Richie at GrowFolds. You can see, gosh, how beautiful it is. What do you guys think about that light leaf shine? Doesn't it actually enhance the Monstera Thai constellations? I am so happy that I was able to get these ones. I want to actually plant these ones in a big moss pole. So don't worry, I will be buying some more Monstera Thai constellations as a giveaway. This is Richie at GrowFolds. You guys have a happy Easter weekend, and we will definitely see each other on Easter. Have a good one, and bye.